look toward the left end from our vantage point, John, of the Stansers Memorial Pit area, and I see H1 Unlimited hydroplanes sitting in the water. We are getting close to being ready to go racing in our Heat 2A. I'm going to close my book here, and I'm going to take a look at the schedule, see when that time is, and it looks like we're slated to come at 2:15 was the vintage boats. 2:35, 2:40 should be the start of our Heat 2A. John, this will give us an opportunity to maybe take a quick look, our first look at the draw for Heat 2A. For our fans here along the shoreline, this is the 2024 Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair. We got 4 boats coming in our Heat 2A, and if one looks really, really good on the water, this might be the one. We got some hot dogs in this one. We've got our defending Lake Washington champion, J. Michael Kelly, driving the U1, the Beacon Electric. He will be in our Heat 2A. He's going to be joined by Jamie Nielsen in the U11, Miss Mercury's Coffee. He will be in our Heat 2A. Then it's going to be Gutters by Keith presents Boitano Homes, the U35, and Dustin Eccles in the U40, the Flavor Pack. He will come in Heat 2A. And then Heat 2B sounds like a lot of fun. It's going to have Corey Peabody. He was a winner out here in our initial round of heats. Corey Peabody driving the Beacon Plumbing, the U9. He's going to square off against Andrew Tate, the winner of the other preliminary heat earlier today, the U91 Miss Goodman Real Estate. And if that wasn't enough, mix Dave Vilwalk into the mix. He will be in the U27 Miss Apollo, and then it's Bobby King in the U12, the Graham Trucking. So first up is Heat 2A. It'll be Kelly, it'll be Nielsen, it'll be O'Farrell, and Dustin Eccles. I'm going to keep a close eye on Dustin Eccles in this one. Showed me a lot of speed in that first heat. He just jumped the clock a little bit. He squares that up, he's going to be a boat they're going to have to deal with.
I think he will, and I think that he'll make a little better start this time around. They need to score some points here with a 4th place in that first one. I think only gives them 169 towards the championship heat there. I expect the same from Jamie Nielsen. He's going to make an outstanding start. I think that he'll probably want the inside lane again. Of course, Gunner proved in the last time around that in the O'Farrell boat there that the Boynton Holmes, that he can make a good start and he can run with the Chargers as well. So you know, obviously J. Michael Kelly out there, he doesn't have number 1 on his boat because he didn't do really well last year. Obviously, that's to signify that he was last year's national champion. So the race fans in Seattle here saw him pull off an amazing victory last year, not only to win the APBA coveted Gold Cup, but also to win the Seattle event, which is a major event in its own right, and so much history and everything here. This is going to be an outstanding heat, and I just look forward to a good, safe heat, good, clean driving, and the boats are really fast, and it's going to be an exciting thing, fun one to watch.
It is indeed. Apollo Mechanical Contractors. Apollo is proud to be a sponsor of Seafair. We believe in supporting events that enhance the lives of our community and help build people who build great things. Check out apollomechanical.com to learn more. John, we're looking at about 8 minutes and 25 seconds to the start of our Heat 2A. I understand Erica Allreed is in the pit area with a report. Let's turn it down to Erica. Erica, what have you got for us?
We keep saying it's not if, but when for the Miss Mercury's Coffee driver Jamie Nielsen and team headed by Scott and Shannon Rainey. Coming into the weekend, Jamie said the team faced a few challenges, but are happy that they were able to overcome them and get the boat out there and put in pretty respectable speeds. Now the focus is all on the heat and being able to be there in the fight come Sunday afternoon. He said to find success in Seattle, it's going to take a Herculean effort by both crew and driver, as well as a little bit of luck, given all of the variables that come with not only racing, He's and drive it.
Sounds like we lost Erica, having some technical difficulties down there, but she was giving a pre-race report, as she is prone to do, about our boats that are coming up in Heat 2A, and she was talking specifically about the Mercuries.com hydroplane driven by Jamie Nilsson and owned by Scott and Shannon Rainey out of Cle Elum. For our fans along the shoreline and those watching on the H1 Unlimited YouTube network, we are coming up on 7 minutes. 7 minutes to the start of our Heat 2A. It's the 2024 Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair. I'm Brad Luce, got John Walters right here beside me, the entire H1 Unlimited live stream crew. We've got Kim Meredith here making sure we're standing up straight, John, and saying the right things and talking about the right boats. So it takes a team to do this. And there's a great shot for those watching online. You can see all 4 boats. Well, I take that back. The U12 in the background is not in this particular heat, but they are hanging over the water. They are ready to go. But it's going to be the U1, the Beacon Electric, the U11, Miss Mercury's Coffee. It's going to be the U35, Gutters by Keith presents Boitano Homes, and the U40, the Flavor Pack. It's the second heat of the weekend. It's Heat 2A. We will follow it with Heat 2B. Looking at the clock, coming up on 6 minutes, 1 minute to the 5. As we've talked, John, the boats can't come out on the race course until the 5-minute mark, and when they do, at that 5-minute mark, there must be a crew member with physical contact with that boat at the 5-minute mark. We saw boats in the past trying to jump that a little bit and get out a little bit early, so they changed that up. Now they've got to have contact as the crew members begin to close the lids on our craft, and we'll have them out on the water in about 35 seconds. John, our start procedure worked well. I think we'll walk through it again for our fans. They'll see it maybe for the first time, and they'll start to get used to it. And so far, it continues to work well. The boats have to be behind the start-finish line at 1 minute and 15 seconds. That is our score up. They must be behind the start-finish line at 1 minute and 15 seconds before the start, and then they will determine their lanes up the backstretch after that point and confirm those lanes at the entrance to turn 2. Inside 5 minutes, and Seafair would like to take this opportunity to remind everybody of who will be racing in our Heat 2A. It is the U1, the Beacon Electric with J. Michael Kelly, a predominantly red boat trimmed in yellow. Then it's going to be the U11, the Miss Mercury's Coffee, Jamie Nielsen. The boat is black, red, and trimmed in white. Then it is the predominantly white trimmed in green and black, the U35, Gutters by Keith presents Boitano Homes. It is driven by Gunnar O'Farrell. Rounding out the field, the bright yellow and blue Flavor Pack. It is the U40. It's driven by Dustin Eccles. The start of Heat 2A is just a couple of minutes away. Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones race course. Now it's time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. It's time for Heat 2A. John Walters, as I like to say to you all the time, I've been reading copy. What did I miss? Who's cutting the course here?
Well, we've got all 4 boats on the race course here. We've got Jamie Nielsen cutting across the inside here just to make his first lap across the start-finish line, which is required. All boats have to cross the start-finish line before the start. He's backpedaled a little bit now, and he's trying to establish that inside lane, which we know is where he likes to run. Jay Michael's just exiting the turn up here. He's coming down probably in lane 2 or 3 right now. We've got the bucket list in lane 3. And everybody's just barely on a plane right now, just kind of using up the clock, kind of sizing up the water and where they want to be. Gunnar O'Farrell's bringing everybody up on the outside here, and I think that this start procedure is really exciting. The lane choice here is really critical, and the race, even though they're not going at full speed right now, the race is on as we speak.
And for those that have been watching boat racing for many years, especially over the last 5, 6, 7 years, you're thinking, wait, these guys are going below 80 miles an hour. I think we talked about it earlier, John. We buried the 80-mile-an-hour rule in about 20 feet of water just out in front of us. 80-mile-an-hour rule is no longer in play. So Jamie Nielsen, who is crawling up the backstretch very slowly, there you see him there, those watching on the H1 Unlimited live stream, probably below 80 miles an hour, plowing a lot of water. Perfectly legal at this point. 2:30 until the start. And remember, they have to be behind the start-finish line buoy at 1 minute and 15 seconds. John, those guys are crawling up there.
They are.
But that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Jamie, made his move here to get the inside lane, which we kind of thought he'd want to do in the first place. And in doing that, he's paying the price. The price is that he had to get up there a little bit early to beat everybody up there. So now he's having to backpedal, stay behind. You don't want to be anywhere close to the score-up buoy here before he ends up, going over, which could be a big penalty for him. So he's going to run just as slow as he can and try and stay on a plane, keep it clean so that he can see. The bad thing he's doing is making some rough water down there that they're all going to find when they get around there in the first turn or the second turn of the first lap. So he's hugging the buoy. He's going fairly slow, trying to stay in control of the situation. Actually, Gunnar O'Farrell's probably in the best position right now. He's on the outside, got good clean water, got plenty of time left on the clock, and so everybody's going to be in pretty good shape.
And I'm just wondering if Jamie Nielsen coming down here slow, he might be the victim of exactly what he caused on the team the other time in the other heat when he was able to leapfrog everybody. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark from here. It would appear a very clean score up, and Jamie Nielsen so far has held on to that inside lane. This is not the start. That was just the score up. So now the boats are down there defending their lane. Jamie Nielsen is in lane 1, got J. Michael Kelly just outside of him, and what he doesn't want to do, John, is let Mike run out in front of him, get a 5 boat length overlap and move over. I don't think that's what we're going to see. I think Jamie Nielsen in the Mercury's Coffee is going to hang right there in lane number 1. Off to his right in lane number 2 is going to be J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Then it is going to be Dustin Eccles in a good lane here. Lane number 3 in the U40, the flavor packet on the outside, going to be Gunnar O'Farrell, and the Gutters by Keith presents Boitano Homes. Top of the race course with 25 seconds until the start. This time, fans, when they come across start-finish line, we will be racing. It is Heat 2A of the 2024 Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair. It's going to be a good-looking start. We are up on 10 seconds now. Don't want to cross that line too early. We are coming up on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, gonna be close. My countdown is unofficial, John, but it's close.
It's really close. It looked like Gunnar was a little bit over right there, but we'll let them make the call when we get the picture. Now everybody else on the inside's holding a nice clean line. I think the JMK's right where he wants to be in lane number 2, and Jamie Nielsen's leading everybody coming off the exit pin.
Yeah, but is that Dustin Eccles on the outside? I believe it is. There he
is. Here
is.
He comes. He's got a lot of top end.
Holy cow, you could see that boat on the outside. Kelly was running back in second place. We said Dustin had a lot of speed. Holy cow, is he showing it right now. Top end of the race course, Dustin Eccles. He's running in lane 3. As the boats come off the corner, you're going to see J. Michael Kelly in there somewhere. There he is between boats. But it is Dustin Eccles and Jamie Nielsen coming down here virtually side by side. Our start is under review, and Eccles has now opened up about 4, maybe 5 boat lengths on Jamie Nielsen in lane 1. Between boats, it's J. Michael Kelly, but he's back a couple of boat lengths.
Dustin is just really hooked up and rolling here. He's really going fast coming off the exit pin. He's in control of this situation now because he can move over and tighten up the radius a little bit if he needs to and not leave any more room for the boats on the inside than they absolutely have to have. But he's stretching it out here, and they're going really fast into this next turn.
I am being told, John, that we have had 2 boats that have jumped the gun. That's the U35 and the U11. So that's Gunnar O'Farrell and Jamie Nielsen. What that translates to, at least so far, we have heard nothing about Dustin Eccles in the U40, the flavor pack. Dustin driving a whale of a boat race. He puts 2 in the book, flies the U40, the flavor pack, across start-finish line. He's our leader on the water, and he also, according to the officials, is legal at the start. Second place is J. Michael Kelly, but he's running outside of Dustin Eccles. That's going to be a tall order to run him down. Dustin Eccles, John, this boat is really impressing right now.
It is. It got really good boat ride. I mean, the thing gets a little bit loose coming down the front straightaway here with the wind in his face, but he's got good control with the front wing and the canard. He's able to lay it down. Boat turns like it's on a string. JMK's on the inside of him. They're on the outside of him. Going to have to drive around. He's got the rough water to deal with and certainly the longer way around the race course. It turns out that, as they come off the exit pin here now that, Dustin's got enough room, he can move over if he wants to. He's got a 7 boat length length overlap. He can run in any lane he wants, pick the clean water.
Should be a checkered flag if I can count. Dustin Eccles in the flavor pack, coming from lane 3 on the outside of J. Michael Kelly, picks up the checkered flag. Kelly comes home in second place, driving the U1, the Beacon Electric. Then we had gun jumps by the U11, the Mercury's Coffee, and Gunnar O'Farrell. And the Gutters by Keith presents Boitano Homes. Wow, John, we talked about it after the first heat that Dustin Eccles, he blew the start, he jumped it, he felt bad about it, but we saw an awful lot of speed. Boy, that was impressive. The 40, Dustin Eccles, and the 1, J. Michael Kelly, were both legal. They were legal as we had it. The 35 and the 11 jumped. So the way they finished on the water is going to be the way they finished overall.
Yeah, that was a very good heat for Dustin. He's got 400 points there to go with that 169, so he's getting, you know, a good accumulation of points. As it turned out, with things turned around here, there's kind of a flip-flop of the first heat. So, you know, everybody finished, everybody got good points, and it's going to be a real showdown in the next heat as well. So it'll be very interesting as it goes along here to see the number of points and you know what the guys learned in this heat. You know, there were a couple of mistakes made. They were able to overcome that. There were a couple of really good starts made, and those were the guys that won.
I know our Erica Allreed will be making her way over to the finger pier where Dustin Eccles will bring the U40, the flavor pack, back to the dock. Wow, that was impressive.
Very impressive. It'll be interesting to see. You know, he'll get all that data acquisition stuff over to Seth in the truck there. He'll get through that stuff as quickly as we can. Hopefully we'll get a sign back here that the truck's all clear and everybody's good there, and we'll move on to the next heat.
The other piece I really liked on that, whether somebody jumped the gun or not, he drove around 2 boats from lane 3.
Yes, yes. Yeah, he showed a great deal of top end there, and you know, that's going to play a big deal depending on which lane he's in. You know, if you have to run on an outside lane, it's nice to have that top end that you can get down to that first turn first and maybe be in a position to control down there. You know, other boats are set up a little bit differently to where, you know, they're looking for that punch combination to where they can accelerate real hard off the exit pin. But if you're on the outside, that top end is going to be really important. So we've got a real barn burner set up here for tomorrow.
So it was a very good heat of competition. And boy, what I'm going to remember of that heat was when they came off of the lower corner, we could see JMK trailing in second place, but there was that boat on the outside. We had a hunch.
Yeah.
It was Dustin Eccles, and oh, it was, as we watch him get out of the boat here on the monitor. And how about some high fives right there on the dock from crew members to Dustin Eccles, and as I said, I'm sure our Erica Allreed will be finding her way. Oh, there's, how about that right there?
How about that?
He turned around and waved at the camera there for those of us. I think he was waving at you guys. I think that was it, off the monitor. He was looking up here. He turned around and waved. Dustin Eccles with a whale of a run there in our Heat 2A.
Yeah, these guys have really struggled with calls and different things that have kept them out of the winner's circle and kept them out of, you know, being in a position to win. And it's nice to see that, you know, they're just overcoming that stuff. They're working hard. They're doing the right things. Dustin's doing a great job of driving the boat, and he's always done that. He's got a couple of national championships and, you know, some of the smaller class boats, and, you know, another one that started racing outboards when he was young. So it's great to see all that hard work paying off for the guys.
So I think I see our Erica Allreed. She will hop in there when she gets her turn to grab what I am sure is going to be a very happy, very good. We are going to have Erica get a hold of Dustin Eccles and grab him to a little better location, so hopefully we get a stronger signal so we can understand and hear clearly what Dustin has to say about what has to be a very good moment for him as he brings home, at least on the water, 400 points for the U40 flavor pack people. and a mighty good run here on Lake Washington. So that's the story of our Heat 2A, but the way things work, John, we don't have to wait very long. We're going to get a countdown here very quickly for our Heat 2B.
Yep. We're going to get a countdown real quick, and that's one of the things that H1's been trying to work on, is make this a better show, a little quicker show for the fans, and try to get something on the water all the time. And as Dustin moves over to get ready for that interview there, he lives in Monroe, Washington. He's a local boy around here. He's married to Rena. He's won multiple national championships in the outboards, and he owns and runs a heavy equipment and diesel shop where they do repairs and a lot of mechanical work on things there. So twisting wrenches is nothing new to him, but he does it a little faster on Sundays.
Yes, he does. Seafair would like to take this opportunity to thank the Boeing Company. Boeing has been a Seafair sponsor since the first festival 75 years ago. Boeing has roughly 66,000 employees in Washington State, more than anywhere else in the world. Thank you to Boeing for bringing us today's air show. And John, did you catch that? This is Seafair number 75, and Boeing has been a sponsor for 75 years. I did some quick math in my head. I think they were here for the first one.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. And they've been a company here for longer than that. So, but the amazing thing is that these boats are so close to the aircraft industry and the materials technology and construction techniques and all that sort of thing. So a lot of that stuff is interchangeable, and a lot of the people that work at Boeing are working on these race boats right now.
I think we've got Erica with Dustin Eccles down in the pit area. Erica, can you hear us?
Dustin, you told me coming into this weekend that you were really focusing on those timing marks, the setup of the boat, and getting everything dialed in, and that was on full display in that one. As you take your very first heat win of the 2024 season, you've worked so hard to get to this point, so what does it mean to do it in that fashion?
Oh, it just shows our hard work is finally paying off. It took us long enough. The last heat, I had a great boat ride, and I didn't hit the start right, and it's on me. And finally, this one all came together. All the pieces came together perfectly, and as the race unfolded, I thought, finally, this one's ours.
It was really cool to see all the pieces of the puzzle come together in that one. And as we were walking over here for the interview, you had fans cheering, giving you high fives. What does it mean to be celebrated in that way after that win?
It's the absolute best feeling ever. I think we have a lot of fans that follow our work around the circuit, and they all realize how hard that we're trying to get to this point. And finally, when it's paying off, they can celebrate with us, and that is so cool. It's the best feeling ever.
It was really cool to walk through the crowd with you after that one. A big congratulations to you and the team. A well-deserved win there. We look forward to seeing you back out there tomorrow.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Erica, and obviously an excited Dustin Eccles, as well he should be. And I don't know if you could hear it. If you couldn't, he made the comment that he had to walk with Erica, or Erica made the comment they had to walk through some fans to get to where we could talk better to them, and people were high-fiving and cheering them. That's got to feel good for a team that's looking for some success.
It does feel good, and like Dustin said, they've worked so hard. It's finally, some of that hard work is starting to pay off. The boat ride is good. The engines are working good. The propellers are working well. And hometown race for them in Seattle. They haven't always had, the best of breaks and the best of luck at this race and this race course. So, who knows? This might be the one.
Seafair would like to take this opportunity to thank the folks at Oberto, official partner of Seafair, and iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio is the official Seafair radio partner. And certainly Seafair has exclusive television partner for this event, and the exclusive television partner of the 4th of July and Seafair weekend, King 5 and Kong TV. Thank you for your participation. And the Hyatt Regency in Seattle, they too are a partner of Seafair, and we thank all of them for their support of this wonderful event. Barnhart Crane is one of the largest heavy lift and heavy transport organizations in the United States, with over 50 years of service to our community and our customers. Barnhart prides itself on providing innovative solutions for its customers' needs. And NetTech. Most organizations struggle to find effective IT solutions. NetTech has created an IT subscription program that includes the hardware, software, security, and support so employees can focus on their work and owners can sleep at night. NetTech, thank you from Seafair for your support of this event. And Tulalip. John, this is my favorite line of any of these reads. When all you want, John, is everything. When all you want is everything, immerse yourself in Washington's premier gaming destination with AAA 4-diamond accommodations, a full-service spa, top-notch entertainment, and award-winning restaurants. It's Tulalip, and Seafair says thank you. John, we've got to be on the clock already. In fact, we are. We are inside 7 minutes to the start of our Heat 2B. Seafair, H1 Unlimited, they're trying to bring these things off in a hurry, keep the action on the water. So far, so good.
So far, so good. The drivers have all been as polite as drivers get when it comes to, leaving people room and leaving people lanes. And, we had several close calls last weekend in Tri-Cities, and I think everybody learned from that. I know that the inspectors are over there taking a look at air bottles and taking a look at the airlines and taking a look at all the things that, you hope you never need, but you want to make sure that you can guarantee they're going to be operational and everything's going to work as planned in the event that we do have a mishap or some problem there. So, congratulations to all the race teams for getting all the hard work and getting all these boats back in order and getting them running fast and running safely again. That says an awful lot. I know how much work that is. Congratulations to the drivers that are back out here, racing these boats and putting on a great show for everybody. And I expect that, all that hard work, like I said earlier, is going to pay off for everybody. And I think that it's just going to get better from here.
5 minutes and 40 seconds. 5:40 to the start of our Heat 2B at the 2024 Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair. Looking at the boats in our heat, we'll run them down a couple of times for you. We've got the U9 Beacon Plumbing, Corey Peabody handling the driving chores there. Going to be joined by Bobby King driving the U12, the Miss Graham Trucking. Dave Vilwalk will drive the U27, the Miss Apollo. And the U91, the Miss Goodman Real Estate, and Andrew Tate will round out our 4-boat field. John, we just found out our first and second place finishers in the previous heat have cleared the tech truck, so they are good. 5 minutes. There was the 5-minute mark right there. And that is the 5-minute mark, which means it is time to go racing. And once again, here's who will be coming out and is coming out on the water for our Heat 2B. It is the U27, the Miss Apollo, with Dave Vilwalk driving. The U9, the Beacon Plumbing, with Corey Peabody. The U12, the Miss Graham Trucking, with Bobby King doing the driving. And the U91, the Miss Goodman Real Estate, with Andrew Tate. The start of our heat is only a few minutes away, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones race course. So now it's time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. John, I read my copy. Looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4 boats on the backstretch. They're all kind of spread out like a parade route there. We'll see if anybody wants to cut across the race course, but so far, all 4 are heading up to the north end.
Yep, all 4 of them are out there and on a plane. Of course, it's extremely important to be, the first one out there to be able to get the lane and get the position that you want. The rules have been changed to help, give everybody a little better start at that. And, it takes a moment or two for the boats to spool up to where the propeller's turning fast enough to drive away from the dock. There has to be somebody from the crew, with physical contact with the boat. So, of course, that's the guy with the longest arms. But they're all out there right now, and it looks like Corey's trying to get the inside lane. Of course, Andrew Tate's coming up here next to him in lane 2. Dave Vilwalk's no stranger to this race course. He's got a nice lane, and he likes to run in lane 2 or 3 right there. And then we've got the Graham boat on the outside. Everybody's going slow, looking for that best lane.
Yeah, as they went up the backstretch, Corey Peabody was kind of trailing the field, and he decided to jump across the race course, and in doing so, he put himself in front of and on the inside of Andrew Tate in the Goodman Real Estate. We'll see if that holds, as all our boats are down. All our boats are down at the lower end of the race course. The 27, Dave Vilwalk, is on an outside lane right there. You see him pulling up alongside a couple of the boats. So right now, at least, it is Corey Peabody in one, and next to him and just behind him on the right side there is the gold and white and black of the U91, the Goodman Real Estate. But John, there's coming up on 2 minutes and 20 seconds. We are being told, John, exactly what we were talking about. Quite candidly, I looked at the monitor and I kind of wondered about it. The U-27, Dave Villwalk Miss Apollo, did not have a crew member with contact with the boat at the 5-minute mark. As such, they are being told to start on the outside. Not disqualified, but they must start on the outside. Coming up on 150 until the start. And we see what's happening here, John. Bobby King has decided I can't go that slow and stay behind the line at 115, so he put his foot in it. Watch him cut the race course now. That's a legal maneuver. He's going to run over to the other side, going to be behind everybody. But he will still be able to run at least in lane 3 if he can catch up to the field, which he'll do. But, John, we still got 15 seconds to clear before a legal score up.
Yeah, there's still 15 seconds. He's going to, try to get down there and run up on the outside here from everybody and pick a good, clean lane. If he can get enough time to do that, he can get out in front, get his overlap, and pick the lane that he wants.
Here comes the rest of the field across the line at about a minute 11, so clearly a clean score up. And now it is Andrew Tate running hard down to the lower end of the race course. Corey's going to run with him because Corey does not want to let Andrew have an opportunity to move over on him. That's called protecting your lane, and it appears as though Corey Peabody has definitely done it. We also have Bobby King in the Graham Trucking. He has now come across the field and legally scored up as well. He will pull up behind the boats and will be able to stick himself, at least, John, into lane number 3. If he wants to try and do a little leapfrog here on Andrew Tate, maybe he could move over. In fact, watch this, John, because he's coming up there with some speed, but I believe he's pulled his foot. He will run in lane number 3. So to the top end of the race course, Corey Peabody, Beacon Plumbing's going to be in 1. Andrew Tate's going to be in 2. Going to be Bobby King sitting in 3. On the outside's going to be Villwalk. We are inside 15 seconds until the start. They come off the top end of the race course looking for Villwalk. He trails the field. We are inside 10 seconds to the start. We're inside 5 seconds. We are 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. It's going to be really close. My countdown is not official. Countdown is not official. It's Bobby King who gets down to the lower corner first, but he's got a lot of speed off to his left, John.
Yeah, that was an amazing start by Bobby. He, looked to be really out of sorts there, but did a good job of coming back. Of course, Corey Peabody on the inside is right where he wants to be. He's got the punch combination there coming off the turn down there to where he can accelerate really hard, and he hold his lane down here. He'll be in really good shape. He's looking in his mirrors right now, and those guys are getting awfully big as they come into this turn.
The U12, Bobby King, the Graham Trucking, has jumped the start, so he has got a 1-minute penalty. But the 2 boats who won our first 2 heats of the day, Corey Peabody and the Beacon Plumbing, Andrew Tate and the Goodman Real Estate running 1-2, but it is Corey Peabody. Opened up about 2/3 of a rooster tail on Andrew Tate. This Beacon Plumbing is a rocket ship, and he's got about 5 or 6 boat lengths on Tate, as on lap number 2, they enter turn 1 at the bottom of the race course. Tell you what, this boat gets out of the corner really quick, that U9 Beacon Plumbing, but we said the same thing about Andrew Tate, and quite honestly, John, here he comes.
Yeah, he's coming up real hard on the outside there, and he's got a really good boat ride. It just seems to do everything that he wants when he needs to do it. But Corey's got some top end on here, and he's starting to stretch out the rooster tail just a little bit. That puts him in a position to move into the lane there. I don't think he has the 7 boat lengths to where he can move out or change lanes, but at this point I don't think he needs to. He's running right on the buoy line. He's out about lane 2.5 or so, where he's got plenty of room there. But Andrew is right in the rooster tail, and he's pushing him hard.
1 lap to go. They put 2 in the books. That's 2 out of 3. It's Corey Peabody and the Beacon Plumbing, the U9. Andrew Tate and the Goodman Real Estate, our national high points leader, trying to run down Corey Peabody at the bottom end of the race course. This is where Andrew Tate's been able to make up ground on Corey, and he's right there again. And as they come off the corner, then it's Corey who starts to move out as he gets the top end speed John was just talking about. Looks like last lap, John. Looks like the same thing.
Pretty much the same thing. Corey just snaps off the turn there, and he's got good top end as well. Andrew's got a great boat right on the outside there, and he seems to pull him just a little bit right here in the top end, but they get to the turn faster than he can really use that. So it really doesn't do him much good. It keeps him close, but won't allow him to get past him. So Corey's kind of throwing down the gauntlet here. He was last week's winner. He's running really hard, really strong here. He's putting on a show right now, and he's throwing, like I say, he's drawing a line in the sand.
Well, he just drew it with a checkered flag at the end of lap number 3. Corey Peabody in the U9 to Beacon Plumbing. He led it almost from wire to wire. He got the jump on the start taken on him by the U12 and Bobby King, but Bobby King was ruled to have jumped the start. Corey got the jump on Andrew Tate, and that was the end of that. Tate was unable to run him down. Corey, as you said, John, kind of threw down the gauntlet there. He looked really, really strong. Bobby King, he jumped the start. He does not have to run an extra lap. The new rule is we just add 1 minute to his time. Our 4th boat across the water, who is going to be our 3rd place finisher, is going to be the Miss Apollo with Dave Vilwalk, the U27. But the story of that one was 1st and 2nd place. It was Corey Peabody squaring off against the winner of our first set of heats. It was the 2 boats that won 1A and 1B. They squared off in 2B, and Corey sent a message.
Yeah, Corey did a great job of getting the boat to the starting line, going as fast as it would go, and that put Andrew in a position to not only have to catch up just a little bit, but in that farther lane out there, Corey had a definite advantage there, and that boat turns extremely well, and the acceleration seemed to be the difference right there. So we'll make some notes here, and these boats will probably get to run against each other another time tomorrow, and we'll see if they make the final heat together, and see which one wants that inside lane.
John, I got news for you. They're going to make the final heat together.
I bet they do.
We have not seen the end of that little showdown, except if everything goes as we hope, we're going to throw a Dustin Eccles right in the middle of it just to make it fun, and with JMK, and as we said at the onset this morning, there's any one of 4 or 5 boats that can take the victory here this weekend, and I have seen nothing that is going to change our mind on that. So we are going to have our Erica Allreed find her way over to Corey Peabody and their pier. I know we get good reception on that dock, so hopefully we can get Corey here pretty quickly. Taking this opportunity to look at our schedule. It is right now on my watch, John Walters. I have 3:04. Looking at my watch, coming up at 3:10, we have the U.S. Marines F-35B demonstration, and then coming up at 3:35 this afternoon, the U.S. Navy Blue Angels. Coming up at 3:35, that is about, well, almost exactly 30 minutes from now. So if we can get Erica down there and grab Corey Peabody quickly before we send it over to Mark Christopher, who will take us to the air in the U.S. Marines F-35B demonstration. So, Erica, if you can hear us, jump in whenever you have the young man out of Kent, Washington. Corey Peabody's a busy guy for Strong Racing, John. As you know, he not only drives that boat, he was named in the offseason. He is team general manager for Strong Racing, working for Darrell Strong. And if you ever run across these boats on the highway, you'll see Corey Peabody driving the truck with the U9 attached to the rear end of it. And it's quite a sight when those 2 boats, of course, when any of them roll past you on the highway, or they always draw a crowd at the rest stop, that's for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of people are very interested in them, and of course, some people know exactly what they are. Others are a little bit confused by them. But Corey does a great job in everything that he does, and like you say, he kind of multitasks there and works a lot of different levels for them. Corey and his teammate there are good friends. They went to school together, teammates, classmates. They started racing J-Stock Hydros together in 1998, and his wife is Stacy. He's got 3 children, Riley, Layton, and Race. That boat, as you mentioned, is owned by Darrell and Vanessa Strong, and he's a consulting broker specializing in employee benefits, and I think he's got some pretty happy employees that have the benefit of being able to work on a very fast race boat right now.
Yeah, they certainly do. Just waiting for Erica to jump in here. We're trying to squeeze this in before we go upstairs with the air show. And I understand Erica has the winner of our Heat 2B. Let's turn it down to Erica Allreed and Corey Peabody. Erica?
Did you manage that game of defense you had to play at the end there?
Well, we knew, but we just, we hit our and kind of control. Well,
Obviously, we're having some technical difficulties picking up Erica Allreed with Corey Peabody, the winner of our Heat 2B and the U9 to Beacon Plumbing. But now it is time to turn our attention to the skies. And to do that, we are going to turn it over to Mark Christopher for the air show. Next up, the U.S. Marines F-35B. Mark, take it away.